Hi guys! I am so sorry I lost my voice teaching yesterday, but I've been getting this request since I posted it on my Instagram and on Facebook of how I made my envelope pillowcase. I kind of did make an error though, just to note on this pillowcase, because as beautiful as the back design is, the sewing did not turn out so well. So this side was shorter and this side was longer, so look, it's supposed to be both long, so I sewed this too high. But it did turn out great, and I love this feather pillow because, you know how, I don't know, I love feather pillows. Sometimes they do end up looking flat, you know, like when you sleep on them for too long, but you know, the softness is so nice. And my dog loves it. My dog is sleeping right now, but he usually does sleep on this pillow because he loves it so much. So I'm doing my first ever sewing tutorial. I do want to note that you do need a sewing machine, but if you don't have a sewing machine and you're planning to hand sew this, it might get difficult. It doesn't require a lot of stitching, but it does, of course, you get a better quality if you use a sewing machine. Okay, with that being said, let us go through the materials. First, you need your pillow insert. I got mine from H&M because they were doing a sale on pillows, or feather pillows. It was about 350 pesos, if I'm not mistaken. It was really cheap, so it was half off. And that is less than $10. It's probably about $7, something like this. Or maybe 6, I'm not so sure. 6 something. But close to $7. Really, really cheap, and a feather pillow insert is something we all love because they're so soft. Yeah, you need a, I don't know how to call this in English. I think it's like a marker, like a fabric marker maybe. But in Japanese we call it shakopen. Shakopen. This one washes off when you wash your what do you call this, fabric. So if you do mismark something, it will wash off with water, as it says on the mark. But if you don't have one, I have an alternative solution. Either you buy one, of course, if you're gonna keep on using it, or you can use a friction ball pen. Have you guys used this? It's the ball pen where it erases when you can use the eraser at the back when you write on it. So what's nice about friction pens is in water also it does dissolve. So yeah, just be careful with what you use on your fabric, because if it is a light color, then you're gonna regret it. So make sure it is washable. So any marker will do. I'm also quite the thrifty person, so I don't really like splurging on things that I won't use again. But of course I sew quite a lot for myself, so I did buy myself some, and it's not very expensive if you think about it. So the fabric I'm using today is this. It is beautiful, the same as the other one I made. It is a native fabric, and this is from Anthill Fabric Factory. I forgot, Anthill Fabrics. I forgot but you can look them up on Instagram. They are a social enterprise here in the Philippines, so they do support seamstresses and local communities where they themselves make the fabrics, and that is amazing. Let's make us let's make our envelope pillow. So this pillow is 16 inches, so I bought 16. And what you're gonna do for the length of the fabric you're gonna cut, so I already pre-cut this into the way I want it. So it's just a rectangle. See, this is why I love the envelope pillow, is because it's so easy to sew. So 16 inches times 2, that's about 32 inches. Yes, 16 inches times 2, 32. And then I want you to add 6 inches to it. So this whole length from here is 38 inches. So that's 32 plus 6, 38 inches. And then the width is 16 inches, just add 1. So you're gonna do the same thing for other size inserts. For example, you got a 14-inch insert, or let's say you got an 18 or 20-inch insert. You're just gonna multiply it by 2 and add 6 inches to the length, and then for the width you're just gonna add 1. So if it's a 20-inch insert, it's 21. Yeah, and then if it's an 18-inch, it's just 19. Okay, so I hope you understood that, the math. It's not very difficult math, so it's gonna be a whole lot fun. All right, we are going to start sewing. I do have some leftover fabric. Guys, don't throw away your fabrics. I mean, it's such a waste. The fabric industry does create a lot of waste in the world. It's one of the biggest pollutants in the world. So we want to save whatever excess fabric you have. I hope that you can keep it. Like for this, I'm surely either gonna make it a headband or maybe something that can wipe my windows, the fabric is pretty nice, and I can make so much things like coasters or maybe a cup holder for my next one. But I have this much leftover fabric. It's pretty plenty, but the fabric is really nice. So I cut it in such a way, again, when you cut your fabric, make sure you cut it in a way that it is also usable in the future. You know, so be a more environmentally aware or conscious of how you use your things even when you're making your own things. Just a tip. I'm going to show you how I'm going to be sewing this one so that you understand how it goes. So the reason why you added 6 inches is because it's an envelope folder. So like this pillow, you see how you just inserted it like an envelope. So it's a no zipper. That's why I love envelope pillows, because they're so easy. So zippers are so hard to get used to, and especially I'm out of practice in sewing. I don't want to redo a zipper again, which I have done so many times. Alright, so how you're gonna be sewing it is like this, and you're gonna overlap it by 6 inches so you know where you're gonna be sewing. So this is going to be kind of like the final look of the pillows. What we're going to do, of course, is sew the sides and then turn it over so you don't see the insides. The first thing you are going to sew are the ends, so the width area. I would just fold it twice and iron it down and sew it straight. So I'll do that for both ends. And then after you do that for both ends, of course, you also have to sew the other side, but you don't need to do that because it's not going to be seen. So after you sew this side, you fold it up again, and then you overlap the 6 inches, and then you just zigzag sew this side and the other side, which is the width part, turn it inside out, and it becomes a pillowcase. So I'm gonna I'm gonna show you guys the process of my sewing and then how I did it, and just to give you an idea. All right. Alright everyone, this is the part of the video where I'm going to talk about what we do. So I'm now folding and pinning down the width of the fabric. So I ironed it down and now I am pinning. From there you can start sewing the edges. I just use a straight line kind of sewing. So just straight through the other side and the other side. And make sure that you hold down the fabrics on the sides. It still depends on what kind of fabric you're using. If it's slippery, just be careful and take it slowly. Alright, now that you've finished the hem of that side, you're going to turn the fabric, of course, the other way around where the hem is showing. And you're going to fold it now because we're going to start sewing the edge of the fabric, so to close the case. Now I'm measuring it into 16 inches just to make sure that I'm gonna be pinning the fabric right. If this step is something that's gonna be hard doing sitting down, I'm just lazy to go down on the floor and actually do this, but you can sit down on the floor, measure it down first, and then pin it like what I'm doing. This is kind of like my lazy way of just sitting down and not doing it properly. You can also iron the sides so it's gonna be more straight and more secure. But again, I'm just doing it sitting down from the comfort of my chair because I don't want to leave my chair. And then we're gonna zigzag stitch onto that side of the fabric. So make sure again that the hem, double check guys, that the hem that you sewed in is facing you, so it's the inside. So when you turn it inside out, you don't see the hem of the fabric, okay? So right now I'm sewing into zigzag. You can see the machine is going side to side, so the zigzag stitch goes into that side. And you just have to go and sew straight again into the sides. I'm removing the pins as I am sewing. That's an important part. I have sewn in a few pins into the actual sewing after not removing it. So there, I'm done with the first edge. And you can see it's already turning out into an envelope. And now you just have to do the other side of the fabric and cut these sides. Okay. So I'm gonna sew now the other side, and I'm cutting the sides. You can now remove the pins and turn it inside out, and you can see it's already turned into an envelope. I'm just smoothing out the edges, and voila, it is now your envelope pillow. Okay everyone, my dogs have now joined me, but just to finish this vlog, I wanted to do a video on what happened, so I'm sure you saw how I sewed it. Again, the edges are the most important here to look clean. So as you can see here, it's quite a clean edge. This to me is really important. And yeah, it's a very easy thing to do. Now we just have to insert the insert. So again, I inverted it so you don't see the inside. And you just have to put your pillow in. And then, hold on. Get the edge. So what I do is I get the edge, connect it to the edge. Yeah, that's how you kind of get the shape of the pillow. Same to the other sides. And here we go. Really clean. Sorry. Here's a really clean envelope pillowcase. Isn't it nice? Yay! I wasn't able to do the same design as the last one where I did a second fold here. What I did there was get the extra fabric and kind of sew it with the insert area, this part, the envelope part, and just have an extra design. I'm not sure if I'll do that. I mean, I can still do that now and sew it up on top maybe to just get like a unique design on the edge. But that again is up to you all. Be as creative as you want. When it comes to sewing, I believe there are not much rules except just do what you want, and as long as you have a pattern, as long as you have a good idea of how it's sewn and a good sewing, I don't know how to say this, but anyway, you just have to practice, I guess, if you're not used to sewing yet on a sewing machine. As you can see, I'm very much used to using a sewing machine, so I just sew into it really quickly. But if you aren't, you guys can practice first on maybe these extra fabrics. You can kind of go straight lines, or extra fabrics you have on your own, you can sew into them just to practice like sewing straight, or you can change the speed. I do hope that this tutorial helped on your envelope pillowcases, and this has been really fun. I hope I can make more. I have some ballet tips. I really want to get into ballet sewing tips. So there are certain skirts, or maybe skirts, yeah, skirts, shorts, I can teach you guys online how to do them. It might take a while. Again, I only post a video a week, but if you did enjoy this, don't forget to click our like and subscribe button and check out our other playlists. I have been updating them. I have some on education and then some talks, and then I'm doing things like sewing tips right now. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and see you till the next vlog. Bye everyone!